Superman these hoes. Superman these hoes.
Oh my god, man, Madden, boy.
Yep. At one day I did, not all the time. I had thin sweatpants on and I had to go to the painting management, so I didn't want to. Yeah.
You want gray sweatpants?
Mm-mm. After 13 completions, 13 weeks, during the AFC and NFC championship games in real life. Congratulations to all y'all Los Angeles Rams fans out there. And to the new Cincinnati Bengal fans that's about to pop up. Because guarantee we're about to see a million Bengal fans all of a sudden now that they are in the Super Bowl, man. Shout out to Joe Burrow. Comes off the injury. Had a great rookie. Started off to a great rookie season. It was getting killed. No protection whatsoever. You know, tore his ACL. Comes back the following year. You know, everybody criticized them for not getting Sewell, the lineman. And instead they got Jamar Chase. And 17 games later, they are in the playoffs. Ahead of schedule. Playing in the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow being one of 3 quarterbacks to ever win a championship in high school and have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl in the NFL. So shout out to the Cincinnati Bengals and those little bit of fans that they do have. I know especially in our area, there ain't nobody fans of them. So all the dick riders that's about to pop up, congratulations to your new team playing in the Super Bowl this year. As far as Madden go, you know we can't start off a Ballin' with the Google episode without giving you our top 10 rankings. Now, usually, DC Hitter is my top 10 guy. He tells about the teams and how they go. But we're a freestyle show, you know what I'm saying? This podcast show is free stiggity. We're on our way to the green screen with the highlights behind it. Oh, my God, I can't wait for that moment. By the time real draft start, boy, that shit going to be official like a motherfucker. Boy, I tell you. All right, so we are in the weeks of Woo Babies. The Woo Baby weeks, right? And the last episode we had was 5 hours long, man. And in that 5 hours, I gave out a couple of situations to be able to get gifts. I did not forget you guys. Those things will be taken care of throughout the day, tonight, and tomorrow. I'll be taking care of those things. But now we're on Ballin' with the Google episode 8. Hey, concentration, where have you been around? And I titled it that because this is the concentration part of the season for those guys that are fighting to get in the playoffs and want to remain in the playoffs and trying to get to a Super Bowl. And for those teams that are, you know, have their ticket already written that they are looking for, you know, drafting or trading, the concentration part of the league comes to now. You got to focus. You got to focus on your team. If your off season is pretty much here already, you just want to finish up the rest of the season and then you want to get into GM mode and focus on your moves, on how you want to do things right now. You got to send your scouts out to see what the draft class players look like. You know what I mean? Go look at teams, see who you want to trade for. You know, all the good shit, things that you need to do. Skadimes has been around, but he hasn't really been speaking. He's been twittering his ass off lately and shit. About moves that have been being made and things that have been going on in the league. You know, he's our investigator, our NFL investigation guy. He knows everything. Yeah, Skedaddle Skadines. That's my alter ego. You know, my alter ego. He knows everything. Alright, so let's find out if Hit is on deck right now. If he's not, I'll continue to process the top 10. If not, there he goes. Let's see if he's around. Hitter! God damn it, we need our top 10 BCS Game of Thrones rankings, baby. Alright, so at number 1, Broncos are there. They already have clinched themselves a playoff spot, and that Y next to their names tells me that they won their division. Simple as that. 12-0 right now. Alright, so now undefeated seasons are great, but it's not complete unless you complete the whole shit and win it all. You know what I'm saying? Don't lose a game. But right now, they're 12-0, man. They this close to finishing the regular season undefeated. Now, the Miami 1972 Miami team, right now, they're sweating a little bit. But they've been here before. They know guys can get to 12-0, 13-0, 14-0. You know, they finish the season undefeated. They still sweating a little bit, but then it's the playoffs. If they go undefeated through that, then they're not going to be the only team to ever do it. And they can't pop those champagne bottles, corks off the champagne bottles. So right now, the Broncos are the only team that has the opportunity for that. I could tell you right now that Coach Jimbo does not care about that undefeated shit. He want to win the game, the big game. But they're 12-0 right now with the Y next to their name. These guys are undefeated, and they are the head of the class right now. Second in the NFC, the top guy over there is top tier Craig. Is in his name, man. Top tier is in his name. He has his Buccaneers 12-1 right now on a 10-game winning streak. At 3, the Buffalo Bills are still in the building on a 3-game winning streak, 10-2, and the Baltimore Ravens are 10-2 at 4. Cowboys are at 5 at 10-2. They still rocking. The Bears are 6 at 10-3. The Niners are 9-3 after taking a loss to the Washington Football Team. That was a big game. More for the Washington Football Team, and that puts the Niners on notice right now. Alright, you got a big schedule coming down the stretch. You need to get some of these dubs, because the Dolphins slide their way back to 8-4 right now on a 4-game winning streak, and those mighty Giants are sitting at 8-4 at number 9 right now. I told you they will move up from 10-9, and the Cardinals slide back inside the top 10, the scariest 4-loss team in the league right now. The Arizona Super Bowl defending champs are 8-4 right now. Now on the outskirts looking in, the football team, if they win their next week's matchup, they will definitely jump in that top 10 right now. And on the outside looking in, you got the 12 seed Jaguars, 13 seed Eagles, Browns are the 14 seed, and the Saints are the 15 seed. After an advance, they was just in the playoffs but took a loss, knocked them out of the 7th seed. Let's go take a look at the playoff picture right now. Give me one more chance. Alright. She's sick of that song, but how it was so long. Girls, GETA boots for girls. The envy of all women. It's crushed women. Cartier wristwear with diamonds in them. The finest with them. With the thrashing. I get that ass a good thrashing, high fashion, flying into all states, sexing me while your man masturbates. Alright, so the Bucks are the number 1 seed in the NFC. Broncos are the number 1 seed in the AFC. As of right now, they will be playing home until, till the Super Bowl. Yeah, more chance. Alright, the number 2 seeds on both sides, the AFC, is the Buffalo Bills. The NFC are the Dallas Cowboys. How about my boy Snake got his team sitting at the 2nd seed, something that they haven't done the entire disc. But my boy up there right now, and right now he'll be playing a familiar foe. This game is the matchup of the 14th week. Right here, week 14, the Cowboys versus the football team. Now, week 1, Cowboys, really took it to the football team. They made a statement early. Sidney Cake played well. And the changes, the Cowboys kind of bust some moves in the offseason that, really got these guys looking like geniuses right now because they balling right now. But that football team, they've been, for the last 2 off seasons, these guys have been doing some things. Especially last off season, they, bust trades. They did some things that they usually don't do. They came out of their comfort zone. And in the process of that, this team is continuing. It's just continuously keep getting better, man. They're there. But it's the same question with this team. Finish. Every season, it always comes down to the finish part of it. You gotta erase that title that follows Doolittle. The doctor, man. Can you finish? That's all it comes down to. All right, but that's a good matchup right there. They will see each other for the 3rd time. If the playoffs started today, they will see each other for the 3rd time. But we will be paying attention to the Cowboys football team matchup tonight. If they play tonight, hopefully they do play tonight. I would like to see Snake knock that game out tonight. On the flip side of it is another divisional matchup between the Bills and the Patriots right now. Nano's not locked in as much as you would want him to be locked in. Hopefully it's because he got himself a new girlfriend and all that shit. But right now he's the 7th seed hanging on to his playoff life right now. And he plays the Baltimore Ravens at week 14. So hopefully we get that game knocked out tonight. But right now, if the playoffs started today, it would be the Bills versus the Patriots, man, and this is a good matchup. Nano has beaten the Bills a couple of times, and Hoodie will be looking to show that, beat me when it matters, my boy, if that game was to match up that way. Now, the 3rd seed versus 6th seed will be another divisional matchup, and that will place the Browns and Baltimore playing each other. If the playoffs started today, the Browns and Baltimore will see each other in the wild card round. For the 3rd time they will be playing this season if that was the case. So these guys are still fighting for their lives. 7th seed, 6th seed, 5th seed, 3, all the seeds. We all fighting for our lives right now. And on the other side of things, you got the Bears versus the Cardinals, 3 versus 6. And those Cardinals being the 6th seed right now is very, very dangerous. So this is D West and the Chicago Bears nemesis, man. They haven't played a close game at all versus the Cardinals since season 1, since they won the Super Bowl year 1. Every game since then has been a blowout. So the Bears don't want this matchup at the same time they should want this matchup. At the end of the day, you want a better show you can climb that ladder and do something that you haven't been doing, which is beat a team that you haven't beaten. We watched the 49ers in the regular season finally beat the Cardinals, so, the Bears should feel the same way if this matchup stays. All right, so the 4th versus 5th seed will be the Giants and the 49ers. Now, right now, the 49ers are winning their division, so they will have a home game in this game right now. But they play each other in the regular season, so if this matchup stayed, they will be familiar with each other because they both are going to play each other in the late part of the season. So, the NFC West does play the NFC East this year. So the 49ers still got to play the Cowboys and the Giants. So we shall see how that plays out. But that's the 4 versus 5 seed. And the New York Giants have gotten hot at the right time right now. These boys are hot. They flying on all cylinders right now, offensively and defensively. I do think they match up with the Eagles in week 14. Big time game. That game is big for the Eagles and the Giants. Like, that's a really big game. I think every game going forward for anybody in that NFC East is very important. On the other side of things is the forever being here, always there, the Jaguars, 4th seed, AFC South champions. They've dominated their division, and at this point, that's all they need to do is dominate their division, and they're in. Simple as that. With that Dolphins team, that's really a up and down team, and at any moment they could beat anybody in the league, and at any moment they can lose to anybody in the league. So this is a good matchup too. I think this would be a great defensive game for the Jaguars. Jaguars have a really solid defense. I think they have an underrated defense that we don't pay attention to enough, that the Jaguars defense is really that good. They got good pass rush. They get good play from their linebackers, and they got one of the better secondaries in the league as well. And then the Dolphins, man, that passing game, bro, they steady with that passing game. Jalen Waddle is a monster. You know, no one's ever shown that they can really stop Jalen Waddle. And, you know, with Arthur Forbes now playing well for this team, they got another receiver where they got a 1-2 punch right now. So that's your playoff look right now, your playoff matchups if they was to start right now. But right now we go to schedule and we are in week 14 right now. So the games that are important that can determine some things will be as follows. Cowboys football team right away. Tips down. Tips down right away. You know what I mean by right away. Mrs. Goodell, bring your ass over here. Bring your ass here, girl. Bring your ass here, boy. So here's what I'm talking about. You listening? Snake plays hitter. They are complete. If there's any rival in the NFC East, it's these two. They got a I hate your ass relationship. Because we crew, you know what I mean? We Madden franchise junkie crew. I tolerate your ass. But when we play, I'm trying to whoop your ass.
Right.
Now, Snake whooped his ass week 1. Hitter needs to get revenge in this game. So let's talk about Hitter for a second. In your eyes, Erica, what does Hitter have to do to be able to take that next step? Stop calling stupid shit. Well, he played the 49ers while you was hooking up the new Cat 8. He was playing the 49ers, and he pulled that game out. And in his comment, you know, once I interviewed him and asking questions, he said he played a smarter game. You know, he did throw 2 interceptions. Yeah, he threw in his 2 interceptions, but one was right before halftime, just throwing it up. He took what the 49ers gave him. Now, when you playing the Cowboys, you got a team that can play man-to-man. They got some special players everywhere. Their linebacker core is great. You will have to be able to get the run game going when you play the Cowboys. I don't think he can just drop back and throw the ball 50 times a game and try to beat Snake's defense. He put a really good team together. So when you think about the football team, they got a really young, promising running back that lit the league on fire the moment he was drafted, right? He was one of those players that was like, you can't miss on this guy. He's been up and down, solid all year long, but we need him to have that breakout game. Would this be the game that Boone Jackson, the power back, needs to break out? No doubt, no doubt. So when we go look at this power back, see what type of guy we're dealing with right now. So when you look at their matchup right now, we'll go to the football team first, and we'll start at the quarterback position. All right, so Doolittle has been here since the first draft class. He's playing pretty solid this year. 3,000 yards. He has 35 touchdowns, 28 picks, but he has a 61 completion percentage. Now, we're comfortable with it being at 60%, but, you know, you want to kind of be midway, 65 or above. All right. He's been sacked 35 times. He's averaging 251 yards a game, 99.8 QB rating. You want that rating to be at 100 or more. All right. So, when you saying, you know, play a safer game, how would you correlate him playing smarter with 35 touchdowns to 28 interceptions? Do you feel like he's playing smarter with 28 interceptions?
No.
Not at all. All right. When you ask two matchups to have, when you're looking at two matchups and you're looking at the football team's quarterback, all right, we're looking at Doolittle, and then I'll go show you what the Cowboys did. They went and got Sidney Cake, who's more of a, they're both dual threat quarterbacks. Both these guys got 90 speed. They can run the ball as well as throw the ball. Baby Marmars, 31 touchdowns, 28 interceptions, 54%. This Cowboy team is known to be an all-running football team. They run the ball, but this year they're trying to spend time on developing their passing game right now. In their first matchup, Sidney Cake, they didn't do it through the ground. They did it. They actually won the game with Sidney Cake. So you click on him and go look at the stats, and let's go back to that football team's matchup. We're gonna go through season stats, take it all the way back down to week 1. All right, so he was in this game. He had 106.2 QB rate and 217 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns, 2 picks in this game. He played well in this game. He's going to have to repeat that, though, because when you play the football team, the one thing they do is they have a strong front seven and a secondary that could back up that strong front seven. So both these teams have a really, and when I look at their division, they both have really good teams. They're built really well in their division. These two teams are built to be able to compete against each other. I do think they have to contain Sidney Cake. They have the players to do it. Now, Montez Sweat is a monster. He leads the league in sacks right now. I already know what Chase Young can do. Chase Young can change a game in a heartbeat. But when you look at their secondary, you got the kid Williams and you got Derek Foster are both back there with double-digit interceptions, and they're playing well on the back end. So Sidney Cake has a really big task in front of him right now, because I think he has to play really good to beat this team. And when the Washington football team lost this game, they're not looking to get swept by the Cowboys, so I think they're going to come ready to go. So I think the pressure is more on the Cowboys today. And then through their transition on trying to throw the ball, their running back, you've never seen a Joey Cummins season where he's at week 14 and only got 159 carries. So they're really not featuring their running back as much as they usually have to. I don't know if they could turn the switch back on, though, and get this guy back to the form of 25 to 30 carries a game, because we're getting close to the playoffs. It's time to bring that switch back. So can he turn it back on? 5.5 yards a carry. He has 6 rushing touchdowns. He's under 100 yards a game. But you look at Sidney Cake, he makes up for it. Joe Mixon is in the building as well. So they're doing it through 3 players in the run game right now versus 1. I do think Joey Cummins has to be very special in this game today. I think the Cowboys have to build off of what they did in the first game that got them to win and add to that. But I do think it's time to get back to the Joey Cummins game where he's the guy. He catches the ball out the backfield and run the ball. The matchup I'm gonna be looking for, though, is right here. When you look at the receiver matchups right here, some would say Tree Owens. I want to know Oskino, Ishmael, Hartman, and Slaughter, in my opinion, along with the running back. So we're looking at what linebacker or safety for the Washington football team that can kind of take this guy out of the game. Keon Slaughter is not having a bad year. He is a threat. He helps Sidney Cake. I think, when Sidney Cake joined this team, Slaughter became his guy because it's his safe guy. It's his bailout guy. He can keep the chains moving. He gets open a lot. He beats those matchups when you got a linebacker on him or sub safety. However, the football team secondary, the safeties are playing at a high level right now, so I don't know, how much of a factor Slaughter will be in this game. The matchup between Hardman or Oskino versus the corners, you got Allen over there, Benji. You got Eric Stokes in the building. You got Early Reed still over there. So you got guys that can match up and run with these guys. Oskino is one of the faster, he's a speed demon. So is McCole Hardman. They're speed demons. So I would like to see the matchups. Both these teams play a lot of man. You will see a lot of man coming out of both these teams. So it's going to be matchups. Who wins the matchups right now? When you look at the football team's offense, you're looking at, different style receivers. You got big, fast receivers. All of them got basketball height. All of them are like, shooting guards and power forwards. And they can go get the football. So the matchups when it comes down to veteran corners versus, young up-and-coming wide receivers right now. Demon Time, Biggie Smalls, Pop Cribs, none of them are little guys, you know what I'm saying? Smalls being 6'3". But their best weapon on offense in the passing game is Brahim Cannon. At 6'7", 250, he's a super freak. He break tackles. Where the Cowboys have a good linebacker core, do they have somebody that can run around with this guy and keep him from being active? Lately, he's been averaging 6 catches a game and close to 100 yards. So he's there. He's in effect. Boom, does catch the ball at the backfield. Nothing that'll make you be like, we got to worry about him in the passing game, but you can't fall asleep on it either. I like the matchup. I think the football team needs this game more than the Cowboys do, but I also think the Cowboys will come into this game playing it as if it's a Super Bowl for them. Because they don't want the football team to win that game. They are probably the two rivals over here that hate each other the most. So that's my, I'm not going to call it the game of the week yet until I keep going through the schedule. But I do like this game as, you know, one of the better games right now. Hopefully we see this tonight. If not, you know, tomorrow sometime we'll see it. But Cowboys football team. Then you got the Falcons and the Packers. You know, Harold Burgers is back playing, and the Falcons is playing pretty good football right now. So that's a you know, look at the box scores and see what happens in this game. Broncos Jets. You know, can the Jets upset the Broncos? Can they knock that undefeated tag off of them? All right, so we know the Steelers is pretty much just playing right now. These guys are really into the draft picks right now. They're really looking for their off season, but they are playing the Browns. It's a rival game. It's a divisional game. I would expect the Steelers win. You know, even if they're trying to get a high draft pick or whatever the case may be, they will look at this Browns team on their roster and show up to play to, you know, knock these guys out of the playoffs. Don't give them an opportunity to continue to make the playoffs. Right now, the Browns are the 6th seed, and the Steelers can get in the way of that. So this is a game to look at as well to figure out that box score to see what happens in this game. Vikings, Texans, Coach Mark and Sean. Sean should continue to just figure his team out and, you know, try to get a handle on it so he can get into his first off season. Panthers, Saints, big time game right now. Saints are removed out of the playoffs. They just was in it. We advanced. They out of it. They took a loss. Panthers are still fighting for their playoff lives right now, so this game is a circle on the calendar game. You know, they go back and forth. Two different style of offenses. You got, you know, the roll and rally offense and the pound you in the ground offense with the Panthers. And Howard Streets, as wise Howard Streets is fighting for an MVP run right now. The Saints look to want to throw the ball all over the park. You know, a lot of everything's going away, coming back, going away, coming back. Crossers, drags, rollouts, coming back, go away, coming back. Can the Panthers guys stay disciplined to be able to slow that offense down when GETA Styles is playing at a high level right now? On the flip side, Hal Streets is a monster in that backfield right now. Can the Saints' young defense, you know, hold him to under his numbers right now? Chiefs, Dolphins, another one of those games that this is the game that the Dolphins have to win. They can't get into this game on a 4-game winning streak and then drop the game we don't expect them to lose. And if you sleep on the Chiefs, that's exactly what can happen right now. So, you know, and then Rich the Barber is about to he might, if he even play. I know he pissed off because his Chiefs went out there and lost to the Bengals today to go to the Super Bowl. So Rich the Barber probably in a bad mood. Hopefully he would like to take it out on the Dolphins and we get this game played. Now, I seen Coach Corey in the chat responding to the playoffs in real life. But I don't know if he's playing games right now. So the Raiders, to me, I think this is an easy force win on their belt right now, helping them in their process of developing, you know, trying to get better and get adapted to this league. Seahawks, Cardinals right now. All right, so the Seahawks, in my opinion, they should play this game, and they should want to play this game right away. And here's why. You want to play this game early as possible because you want to continue to get data. If I'm the Seahawks, all you want to do is continue to process and get data. Simple as that. That's that concentration. Hey, concentration, you know, and to get data, what better team to play to get data off of? You find out, you know, what your team is about. You have the team to match up with anybody in this league. Now you have to put the scheme together to be able to compete with anybody in this league. And I think they should just continue the process. Continue the process. Simple as that. All right, Rams, 49ers. Another one of those divisional games, you know, in the Rams situation, I think they should continue to attack the players that they got. You know, they got that tight end in the draft, big time player. I think they're actually one more receiver short for doing something big with this team on a flip over. So we just want the Rams to continue to play their games, to continue the process as well, and try to be a thorn in somebody's ass. You could take this 49ers game and slow it down and try to put them in a bad situation. Other than that, I think the 49ers coming off of a loss right now, and they're going to be hot, ready to go. If you're going to catch the Niners, you better catch them now. He drunk. He was out at the bar while his team got aired. Ravens, Patriots, trap game. You know what I mean? Big brother, little brother game right here. So this is a trap game for the Ravens right now, where the Patriots is really not locked in. They're not playing good football. You know, Belichick is looking like he's ready to retire as a defensive coordinator over there. And they got things to figure out. Their coach is on the hot seat right now. We've been hearing rumors that they about to fire their coach. And they transitioning, you know, they got that first round running back that's been unhappy for 3 seasons now. He's, you know, pissed off that, you know, they're not giving him a fair shot to be the guy over there. So, you know, we should see. But again, you come into a game where if you don't play the type of football you need to play, the Patriots can always beat anybody at any moment. Giants Eagles. This is the circle game right here. This is the game where I would say, if I'm the Giants, you want to win it, of course, right? You're trying to continue to be on top of your division. But this game is mainly for the Eagles right now. This is a pride game. This is that game where, you know, put all the women and children to bed, no excuses, and go looking for dinner. Right? That's this game right here. This is that game where you say, all right, right now, you know, my quarterback king is the quarterback now. Deshaun Watson, you want to sit this game? At this point, we're going with the young gunner. He showed us he can play at a high level in this league. And we lock in and play. Simple as that. No more excuses. You better motherfucking really go into this game with a killer's instinct. You have to win this game in Philadelphia. You gotta put the Giants in a bad situation, because this is for your playoff life. So this game has to be locked in. Mic down. You in chat, and y'all on chat, you put your mic down and focus and lock in, man, and figure out a way to get this Giants team the fuck up out of there. Lions, Bills, Antonio still been a little bit busy, so it looks like Hoodie probably going to get another forced win, which is his fourth forced win in a row. It's not his fault, but it sucks when you're not getting games. When you're not getting the games, it's going to hurt you down the stretch. Simple as that. That's our week 14 schedule. They are games. Look like some guys are on byes. I didn't see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lined up against anybody this week, so we got some guys on byes right now. So you guys want to hit this shit fast. Alrighty, now let's get back to some good stuff. Alright, so we talked about this last night in length, so I'm only going to go through it fast on some computer love fast shit. Watch this. Ruggs is still fighting for the MVP. He's number 1 on the race. Kyler Murray did jump Harold Streets, though. Tremaine Bass is at the 4th spot. He jumped Travis Etienne. So we got some movement in the MVP race right now. You know, outside of that, you got Elijah, you got Deion McCoy, Javonte Williams, Kellen Mond, and Hits Israel in the MVP race. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. Looks like Tremaine Bass wants to take that trophy down right now. Etienne is there. Williams is there. 3 running backs, and then Kellen Mond. At 5 is Chris Paul, the wide receiver, balling out as always. In the NFC, your Offensive Player of the Year goes to Ruggs. Murray is 2nd, Streets is 3rd. That's the MVP run. Manning is 4th, and Hits Israel is 5th on this list. Defensive Player of the Year in the NFC, Terrell Williams, the 6'4", speed demon at safety, is balling out right now. Leads the league in interceptions. He's number 1 on this list. Murphy Bunton is playing like he's the best corner in the league. Continuously playing really well. Isaiah Simmons is the best middle linebacker in the league. And then Montez Sweat is leading the league in sacks right now. Devin White, linebacker, that's always consistent. You know, that speed is different when it comes down to linebackers. When it comes down to him, he does a lot of things right now. He's sneaky. He can cover a lot of ground in the passing game, as well as play the run really well. So Devin White's still holding it down, too, at number 5 right now. Alright, your AFC Defensive Players of the Year award race goes as Damian Major is sitting here at number 1. You got Gabe Coles, the pass rusher for the Texans, at number 2. AI jumps up to number 3 at the cornerback position. It's quiet as kept. You know, this kid's a demon at corner. He's the flat out shutdown corner, and he's doing it from a 5'10" frame. So we love what he does for the Baltimore Ravens. How do I do that? Because there's going to be a whole lot of bots coming over here. Alright, number 4 is Alexander Cameron, another DB, another cornerback for the Bengals. They're sitting at 4, and at 5, the Dolphins. Trill Williams is holding it down. Your top 5 Defensive Player of the Year awards right there. Offensive rookies, Joe Parker, J.C. Fields, and Arthur Forbes. Is a complete battle between these 3 guys right now. With Joe Parker, you know, being a quarterback right now, is still on top of this thing. Let's see if he can continue that. with J.C. Fields, coming from the backup role, trying to take this award away from Joe Parker, with Forbes saying, hold up, though, I'm here too. Gregory Lloyd, the tight end, is sitting right there for the Dolphins at 4, and then Chris Best at 5, the other wide receiver, the counter receiver to Chris Poole, is Chris Best at 5. NFC Offensive Rookies of the Year as follows: Jaleel Ruggs, Diaper Dandy; Isaac Cannon, Diaper Dandy; Boom Jackson, Diaper Dandy; Danny fucking Glover; and Jay White, the tight end. Again, the fastest tight end to come out of our draft in recent years. This guy's a speed demon at tight end, but he's a big body guy, 270 plus with 94 speed. Man, this guy's a monster. All right, so that's your race with the Diaper Dandies on offense. So we go to the defensive side of things. Your Diaper Dandies is Kadeem Wagner. He leads this whole defensive class, balling right now. These names, man, oh my God, Kadeem Wagner. He had a quiet game against the Washington football team. He did nothing to stand out. That was part of the football team's notes. Don't lose the game to Kadeem Wagner. So that just tells you how much of an impact player this Diaper Dandy really is when you are putting him on your scouting report. To not, reasons to be able to be successful is to make sure he doesn't be successful. So that tells you how good he really is, and the reason why the 49ers are playing 9-3 football right now is mainly part of a player like this, Kadeem Wag, Mr. Swing Wag. Solo Savage, man, the jack of all trades. The Cowboys are loving this. They have Parsons, who's a jack of all trades. Solo Savage, who could do it all. You got Israel Moo, who can play safety or corner in this league. They playing well with those tweener guys right now, and Solo is number 2 in the NFC for the Defensive Rookie of the Year award. Ace Sanders, man, Bob Sanders' son. Same size, 5'9", but he is a speed demon. He had 3 right now, playing well for the Giants. I think the more he started to develop and play, the better the Giants got as a whole right now. And this guy make a lot of plays from a lot of different ways and from a lot of different positions on the field. The Giants are doing a good job processing and developing a guy and putting him in a situation to win. Will Canty, the number 1 D tackle in that draft last draft in the 2026 draft class, is playing well right now and playing really lights out. Actually, Will Canty is balling for the Falcons. He's number 4, and then Kenny Mack Jr., number 5, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So the Cowboys got a guy up here as well, playing good football right now. And the AFC, the defensive players are as follows: Junior Levine, top corner, he balling out right now for the Bills. They really starting to me, the Bills got Tre'Davious White. They brought Honey Badger in last year and played with a bunch of veterans. They got their guys. They woke some of their guys up. But Junior Levine is actually going to be the start, the number 1 corner over there for this team. He was the number 1 corner in the draft. He came out on X Factor. So to me, and by next season, around this time next season, we'll be talking about him as the shutdown corner for the Buffalo Bills. Caught Young for the Chargers right now, playing Chase Young. He's playing better than his brother right now, I think. But Caught doing a good job for the Chargers right now. The Chargers are in turmoil though. Their coaching situation is looking real shaky right now. Terrence Wooten, number 3 on this list for the Bengals. Another situation. The Bengals was hot. They were on fire. Then the coach had to go on vacation and miss. He'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if that can save him at 6-7. Can he get a shot to run to the playoffs? But Terrence Wooten's still playing really well for them. And then the number 1 pick of the draft, Steve Israel, Diaper Dandy, sitting at 4 right now. The rumors in Baltimore is that they're almost ready to move him to the number 2 corner, where you'll have both the Israels on the outside and moving Martin Johnson to the slot. So, but Israel's balling. He got 7 sacks on the year, 8 sacks on the year actually from that slot cornerback position. And he's showing signs of he could be a true shutdown. Not all the way there yet, but he's showing the signs that he can do exactly that. And how about the Titans, Lindell Tillman? This guy's an X Factor. He's a monster. Up to 87 overall. Really good pick by Los, man. Los had a really good selection with this kid. And I think he's going to end up being the leader of this defense over here, man, as they transition. But Lindell Tillman is a monster at number 5. All right, best quarterback in the AFC. Kellen Mond at 1. Josh Allen at 2. Patrick Mahomes at 3. Dan Marino at 4. Braden Stanton at 5. All right, so your top 5 are as follows. I'll go through the 10 real fast just to show who's up here. Joe Parker, the Diaper Dandy. Freddie Freaky Minor is up here. AJ Solero and Justin Herbert and Devion Branch are your round off your top 10. And NFC, I'm sorry. Your quarterbacks are as follow. Kyler Murray is back on top of things. Just a week ago, we spoke about Elijah Manning, and he talked about how he was the best quarterback in the league right now this season. And then all of a sudden, Kyler Murray like, shut up. Justin Fields is sitting here at 3, Bradshaw at 4, Jada Styles at 5, and we're starting to see, the same quarterbacks, pretty much showing who they are every year. Lance is playing very good football right now. Doolittle is Doolittle. Cakes is, since he had, come on, we got Cakes up here, buddy. He made a career-saving move by moving to Austin, Texas. Simple as that. Sidney Cake has been revived. He's revived. He's a new player, playing on a winning team, and it's showing. 10-2. Michael Stockton, the rookie, and Leonardo DiCaprio, another diaper dandy. So we got 2 diaper dandies in the NFC sitting on this list right now, and 1 diaper dandy in the AFC, and Joel Parker. All right, best running backs in the league. Jaleel Ruggs, NFC. Al Streets, Deion McCoy, hits Israel, and then Tim Hamlin. Now, when you look at the running backs, right, what you're seeing is a difference of style of play and a difference of how guys are used. So Jaleel Ruggs will do everything for this team. In between the tackles, outside, use his speed, catch the ball at the backfield. Hal Streets will wear you down. Hal Streets wants the ball 25 to 30 times, and he wants, slow-paced offense. They take their time, and they play bully ball. He's built to be able to play bully ball, right? So is Deion McCoy, but Deion McCoy comes from a passing offense where, honestly, he should be the featured player on their offense. Everything should go through him. But for a big power back, that's why I call him the factor backer, because he can do it all. He can catch the ball out the backfield as well. And we already know with, if you're looking for a Marshall Faulk type player, Hitch Israel is exactly that. This guy's a 1,000-yard receiver and a 2,000-yard running back in his MVP run last year. So he's exactly that. Now Hamlin, I call him Baby Bush. This guy is elusive. He also can catch the ball well out the backfield, but he's a home run threat as well. At number 5, so we like their top 5. Now, St. Barkley, Boom Jackson, Walter Payton, Nelson, and Dell rounds off your top 10. All these backs are, have the potential to be really, 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 really good backs in the NFC. In the AFC, the running backs are as follow. 3 years in, Tremaine Bass is now finally caught up to the speed of the league, and he is showing who he was. He was the top running back taken a couple drafts ago, and he's starting to show that right now. As you can see, he's number 1 on this list. Travis Etienne is just solid. He's always on this list. He's always somewhere in that top 3 to 5. That's him. That's who he is. You can't beat the Jaguars if you can't stop him. Javonte Williams, late start to his career, but the Broncos are doing a really good job with processing his gameplay with him in the league. Javonte catches the ball out the backfield really well because he didn't have a high grade on catching the ball coming out of the draft, because they had MC8 over there and Michael Carter, who caught the ball really well for this team out the backfield. And remember, North Carolina had him and Javonte Williams. And Javonte Williams really like the power back. He got the bulk of the carries. In the Denver Broncos offense, though, and Coach Jimbo's offense, he catches the ball out the backfield really well for this team. To me, Nick Chubb saved his career, and that's because of Coach Jr. They are getting him involved. They realize how important he is and how much time, NFL stands for not for long. So they know his career is headed to an end. So they're going to try to get the max out of him while they still have him right now. And that's why he's number 4 on this list. And Herrera got more catches than most wide receivers right now. He's got 80-plus receptions on a year. But he also can run in between the tackles. He's a complete running back over there for the Bengals right now. And I think they're going to have fun with this young back. To round off your top 10 is J.K. Dobbins. Antonio Gibson with a team change, and because of that team change, he's playing well. Najee Harris, New to East, and Jalen Hayden. Jaden Hayden for the Tennessee Titans. Another one of those first-round backs from a couple drafts ago. Still playing well. When you're looking at the receivers of the AFC, and then you look at the receivers of the NFC, and it's really like, damn, bro, it's weapons in this league, and they are playing at a high level. Chris Poole is again, in year 2, he's a young gunner now. He goes from a diaper dandy to a young gunner, and all he's doing is doing what he did last year, which is dominate. This guy, every 2 catches has a touchdown. Simple as that. There's nobody else doing that. Jalen Waddle, we've seen it for the first 5 seasons, and he's continuing to do it in season 6 right now. As one of the better receivers in the league, there's no way Jalen Waddle is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. He will get his blue jacket from Game of Thrones ASAP. Nick Candy, man, we told y'all the Chiefs was flipping over to a new bunch of players. They better bringing that, Patrick Mahomes back up to speed, and Andy Reid's offense is looking like Andy Reid's offense again, because they got guys, at those positions where they, got old at and started to lose guys like a Kelsey and a Reed. Now Nick Candy is the #1 target over there for the Chiefs. And he's a big body guy with great speed. So, Mahomes is having fun flinging that thing still. Zach Bowman is the most surprising receiver I keep seeing on this list. For 3 years straight, Zach Bowman has been a problem for the Colts right now. They got a true #1 receiver over there, and Zach Bowman. He is everything as advertised. Don't worry about the record. Worry about the fact that you're going to see this guy's name in the award conversation from here on out until he's not playing anymore. Jerry Jeudy is over there with the Broncos. As the fact that he's the 5 receiver right now explains a lot, because with them you never know who's going to be the guy for them. So they got a whole bunch of veterans. They just brought in Jamar Chase as well. Skadimes, we'll talk about that trade that happened a couple of weeks ago. But they brought in Jamar Chase to go along with the rest of these weapons. They are solid at that position. And the fact that he's #5 just tells you how good of a season they're having, because, again, he's not a quarterback that looks to get, a particular guy like, say, Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins coach is going to get the ball to him early and often. Jerry Jeudy is in a system where if you're open, you're open. We're throwing the ball to you. We're not calling your number, but if you're open, you're open. The top 10, John Ross, he went right up the street, but stayed in the same stadium. Changed his uniform, but still playing at a high level. John Ross III, one of the older receivers that will keep his ability because the Jets got him playing well. All right, Jermaine, Mr. Pierre. It sucks. I told y'all this last night in our conversation. It sucks that Corey turned it off, because this guy was on his way to stardom. CeeDee Lamb, Schwartz, and then Lance Cox for the Titans are your top 10 receivers fighting for the award. All right, top 5 in the NFC is Diaper Dandy Isaac Cannon, and then another Giants young gunner, Plax Berrish. All right, so the Giants got the 2 top receivers in the NFC right now. I don't expect nothing less. Simple as that. But I do think they are playing at a high level, and I think the fact that they play off of each other. Isaac Cannon, 6'6", he's a freak, speed demon, and can do everything any receiver in the league can do. He can do exactly that. Barris is playing his role big time. You can't double Cannon. If you do that, then Barris is going to kill you. But the guy over here, De'Orion Parker, right now, is really lighting up the scoreboard for the Philadelphia Eagles. This guy almost 20 touchdowns, if not 20 already. He's close to it. But they found their #1 receiver. And the one thing the Eagles haven't had was a speed demon, right? Their receivers, D-Hop and Heisman, Devontae Smith, they wasn't speed burners, track guys that can, really, they were great route runners and they can beat you deep, but they wasn't really that type of, lights out speed. Like if you give me 5 yards, if you walk in my face, I'm walking right by you. They didn't have those type of guys. They would beat you because they were just better route runners than most receivers. And they knew how to, play the game and get open. But this kid doesn't need much. All you got to do is say go. And he gets open. Simple as that, because you can't catch him. It's just that simple. Samuel Jackson, old ass, is new, young, playing for the Vikings right now. Darnell Mooney, I keep telling y'all he's the #1 receiver for the Bears. Nobody's listening. Hudson is back in the mix. Henry Ruggs is here. Isabella, Rondell Moore, and Trayvon Stankin Franklin rounds off your top 10. When you run the ball at the level the Bucks run the ball, when you don't turn the ball over and throw picks, barely get sacked, eventually you got to go away from, it's the scheme, it's his scheme, and start realizing it's the line. It's the line. Why? Because they got the top 3 here. I will be crazy if I'm not going to go down this top 10 and don't think we're going to have all 5 of the Bucks offensive linemen sitting right here. So Wirth is number 1. Trent Brown at center is number 2. Dean Bailey at 3. Let's continue to go down. Bucks, Quincy Keenan is at 4. And they got 4 out of the 5. So I apologize, I was wrong. But that's what happens when you're not giving up sacks, when you're not turning the ball over, and you are the number 1 running team in the league right now. All right, Jeffrey Ramsey for the Bears and Tyler Carr for the Bears right now are the 4th and 5th guys. As you can see, Fowler, Matthews, McNally, and then Huntington for the Cowboys, who made the Pro Bowl last year, is back in the top 10. AFC as follows. The offensive lineman awards goes to Baltimore Ravens Pat Falk. He's the best guard in the league, flat out. And I will beg to differ to argue with me if you want to, but he might be the best lineman in the league. Jermaine Byrd is a real big type of guard as well. This kid's a monster for the Jaguars as well, sitting up here. Rick Santiago is, in his 2nd season with the Baltimore Ravens, and he's playing at a high level right now. The guard play for the Ravens are really good. These guys are athletic, and they can do a lot of agile shit. Dylan Bayer for the Bills are 4, and then Eric McCoy for the Broncos. You're not 12-0 without having an offensive lineman on this list. Then round off the top 10, Joe Jones-Israel at 6. Derek Joseph for the Raiders at 7. Jaron Broley at 8. Quinn Ramirez at 9, and then Rudy Whitehead for the Bills at 10. That's your offensive lineman in the AFC and the NFC. Defensive line as follow. Texans got Gabe Coles and Lance Boone as the number 1 and 2, fighting for the AFC Best Defensive Lineman award. Nick Nasty's now slid his way up to the 3rd spot. Justin Smith underrated, as well as Chuck Smith. Both of these guys are underrated pass rushers and good defensive linemen that you don't pay attention to, but every year they're in this war race right now. PJ Leonard, again, he was the number 1 overall player in his draft class, and he was the number 1 defensive end in his draft class. Came out in the same class as Petey Boulware. Number 7 on this list, Devin Hall. He's 1 year removed from leading the league in sacks. Devin Hall has been back here. He's been balling for the Bills. Damon Tucker is number 9, and number 10 is J.D. Green, another one of those defensive ends. This draft class right here has some D ends come out of it. They all came out the same draft class. Look, J.D. Green, Damon Tucker, you got Petey Boulware, you got P.J. Leonard, and I think one of these guys came out in that same draft class as well. Nick Nasty too. Nick Nasty came out in that draft class as well. So the AFC, I love their pass rushers. I think they got the better side when it comes down to their pass rushers. NFC. Did I speak too soon? Montez Sweat. Free agent, biggest free agency pickup. Every year the Bucks pick up one of these guys in free agency and they show up, and show off. Dak Carmichael, all he did was get to the quarterback for the Vikings, and he's doing exactly that for the Bucks. Roy Fairley is absolutely, since J.J. Watt retired at the D-tackle spot for the Cardinals, Roy Fairley helped him make that decision, because he came in the last year that they was on they were trying to win for J.J. Watt. He came in and turned their whole defense around. I will argue that we're looking at the best defensive tackle in the league. Pat Teller, he been balling since day 1, since he came in his rookie year. Joey Bosa with a team change, and he went from Chargers to the Bears, and all he's doing is number 5 on this list. My guy that I enjoy watching play, and glad that he's up on this list, is Andrew Leonard, and I think because he's playing so well, it brought Nick Bosa's career back to life. Rashawn Farrell for the Lions, Will Canty, the diaper dandy up here, Kenny Mack Jr., another diaper dandy, and then Brian Burns is holding it down at the 10th spot. They go your defensive line rushers and top guys in the NFC. Now in the NFC linebackers are as follow. Hassan Reddick, I think he added to the run game this year. We're usually watching him get sacks every year, double-digit sacks at that. But this year he's getting a lot of tackle for losses. He's playing that much better in the run game right now. So he's on, late in his career, he's on finally playing that linebacker position. I'm a complete linebacker right now. I play the run and pass really well. Jack of all trades, Micah Parsons. Well, obviously the Cowboys are the number 2 seed in the NFC, and it doesn't get to that point without a Micah Parsons. As much as we talk about Isaiah Simmons, the best linebacker in the league, Parsons can be arguably in that conversation. Allen Reed, speed demon for the Seahawks. Young Kadeem Wagner, the diaper dandy, are your top 5. Devin White, Denario Brooks, Jesse Batista, Tyler White, and Charles Snowden round off your top 10. All right, JOK, the African, is still playing well for the Colts. You got Keenan Barrington for the Texans, Devin Ward, the Terminator, for the Chiefs, Zaven Collins for the Bills, and then Odafe Owe are your top 5. Around that top 10 off is Baron Browning, Bernard Smith, Cedric Billy the Kid, Cliff Odom, and Chad Surratt rounds off your top 10. DB Award. Damon Major from back deep, AI, the cornerback, Trill Williams, the tweener, Alexander Cameron, a cornerback, and then Caden Stearns, the other safety, to match up with Damian Major. All right, yes, your top 5. All these guys are dogs. All these guys are, top on their team. They really are the guys, that control that secondary right now. Steiner, he goes from the Baltimore Ravens to the the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Donovan Steiner is doing captain. We just call him Cap now, and not Captain Baltimore no more. He goes to Jacksonville, and he's the captain over there on their defense. He's playing at a high level. Jalen Bay, he was a diaper dandy. Now he's a young gunner, still playing well along with Deion Harris. And then you got T.J. Green from that sub linebacker position. Obviously, with 12-0, he's playing well on defense, that no-fly zone. And then Markel Terry, he's always been on this list. No matter how much the Titans struggle winning games, this kid has been steady in his play right now. So, we like him as one of the better DBs in the league. All right, fella, that's your race on that. Let's go look at, who's leading in team stats right now. All right, still here on offense. Total offensive yards gain. We're going to do something a little different here. So the Vikings got 7,200 yards total yards gained. Cardinals are number 2. Eagles are number 3. Bills are number 4. Broncos are number 5. Now, who's at the bottom of this list? Rams, Cowboys, Packers, Seahawks, Texans round off your top 5 at the bottom. All right, total offensive yards gained. The Cardinals 6,134, Bucks are 2, Eagles are 3, Bears are 4, Dolphins are 5. Who's the bottom 5? Rams, Packers, Texans, Seahawks, Jets. Alright, in the passing game, you're about to find something funny. Let's go look at this right now. Dolphins are number 1 in the league in passing yards. Cardinals are number 2. Eagles are number 3. Bears are number 4. Bills are number 5. So you can see the Cardinals, Eagles, Bears have been in the top 5 on every last one of them. I've seen the Dolphins name a couple times. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dolphins is twice. In the passing game, we got Dolphins twice, Cardinals 3 times, Eagles 3 times, Bears 3 times. Let's make sure I wasn't wrong on that. Yep. Alright. Alright, so Cardinals, Eagles, and Bears have been on this list, all 3 categories right now. Top 5. Alright, rushing yards right now. Let's see. Oh, my bad. Look at the Baltimore Ravens, the worst passing team in the league this year with 2,102 yards. Raiders is 2nd, Panthers is 3rd, Patriots is 4th, Rams is 5th. Alright, rushers right now. The Bucks as a team are leading the league with 2,494. The majority of those yards are Jaleel Ruggs' yards. Raiders are number 2 with 2,435, and a lot of that comes from Jermaine Bass. The Ravens are number 3 in the rushing yards as the best rushing team in the league, 3rd best rushing team in the league, and it comes through their entire backfield. At 4, the Panthers, 2,165. Cardinals are number 5, 1,871. So again, Cardinals are number 5. Our top 5 in every category right now, which is giving them the number 1 offense in the league. All right, so this is the first category that you don't see the Eagles or the Bears in. Who's our worst rushing team in the league? Rams, 455 yards rushing. Packers the 2nd, Dolphins are 3rd, Chiefs are 4th, Seahawks are 5th. With 5 games left, can the Rams get 1,000 yards out of their backfield, or are they going to be under it? All right, let's look at points per game right now. So the Bucks are averaging 48.5 points a game. Chargers are second. Cardinals are second with 47.8. Giants are third, 45.3. Broncos with 42.9. Then there's the football team with 40.6 yards a game. Who's scoring the least amount of points? The Rams are first with 12.8. Packers with 15. Steelers with 18.5. Texans with 18.7. Seahawks with 21.7. Passing touchdowns right now. Let's go. 55 for the Cardinals, 49 for the Giants. Broncos with 42, Dolphins with 42, Eagles with 41. So the Eagles are back in the mix in the top 5. The Bears fell off, so that puts the Bears close to being out of the top 5 for defenses, right? For offenses right now. And the Broncos names has been popping up a lot more lately too. I think they left like 1 or 2 categories. Other than that, they're in the mix as well. Who's not throwing touchdowns right now? Take a look. Steelers 13 in the air, Panthers 14, Jaguars 15, Titans 15, Raiders 16. Rushing touchdowns right now. Alright, nobody's doing it better than Jaleel Ruggs, 47. Jaguars second with 32 and Travis Etienne. Raiders third with 31. Patriots fourth with 29. Bears are fifth with 27. Just got the Ravens on the outside looking in. Alright. Who's not scoring rushing touchdowns? Rams have 3 rushing touchdowns. Packers have 4. Colts have 9. Saints have 10. Vikings have 12. That's your offense right now. So I would say, Cardinals probably are the number 1 offense in the league. You got a couple of guys that can be in that top 5. That's a little bit harder. I would actually need you guys. I would say the Eagles, the Bears, the Dolphins, the Bucks, all are in those conversations right now. Alright, defense, total yards allowed. Number 1 in the league is the Broncos. Number 2 are the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3 are the Texans. Number 4 are the Bucks. Number 5 are the Cowboys. Who's giving up the most total yards? Colts are 1, Raiders are 2, Jets are 3, Chargers are 4, Seahawks are 5. Passing yards allowed right now. So let's look at it. Your top 5 are Texans, Cowboys, Broncos, Jaguars, Saints. With the Ravens, Bucks, and Panthers rounding off the rest of that. Titans and Bears will round off your top 10. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that puts us at 6. 1 category out of the top 5. 1 spot out of the top 5. Who's giving up the most passing yards? Colts have given up 4,284. Raiders second. Seahawks third. Rams fourth. Bengals fifth. Rushing yards allowed right now. So the Ravens have only given up 1,023. Broncos are second. Patriots are third. Bills are fourth. Bucks are fifth. Guys that are getting scouts with the run: Jets, Chargers, Falcons, Titans, Steelers. Points allowed. Ravens are number 1. Broncos are number 2. Jaguars are number 3. Bucks are number 4. Cowboys are number 5. With points allowed right now. Alright, and who's getting scored on a lot? The Rams, 601. Packers, Colts, Titans, Seahawks, Steelers. Sacks. There we go. Texans got 51 sacks on the year. Ravens creep right back up there to 47. Cardinals are 46. Bills, Jaguars. That's your top 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 41 tied with the Cowboys. So the Cowboys are in the top 5 too. Fumble recoveries. Ravens have 8. Bears have 8. Tied for first. Tied for second are the Giants and the Dolphins. Tied for third are the Cowboys and the 49ers. No, Cowboys by themselves. Then it's the 49ers and the Patriots tied for fourth. And then the Texans, Cardinals, Bills, Chiefs, Chargers, and Jets round off that top 5. AntHits. Alright, so the Buccaneers got 59 picks on the year. Football team with 54. Cowboys with 45. Broncos with 41. And the Ravens with 37 to round off your top 10. Top 5. Yep. Alright, so the Ravens have the number 1 defense in the league this year. And then you look at the Broncos. Look like they're the number 2 defense in the league. It looks like the Cowboys might even be in that top 5 this year as well. And you can look at teams like the Giants, the Bucks, the Cowboys, the football team. Some of these guys, are in the mix to be in the top 5 defenses in the league right now. So that's your team stats right now, guys. That's doing it as a team. Now let's talk about the individual play from individual players. And your passing leaders are, your top 10 are Dan Marino, Kyler Murray, Justin Fields, Allen, Manning. That's your top 5. Your next 5 are Amon, Solari, Branch, Mahomes, and Bradshaw. They're your top 10. Who throwing the most touchdowns? Murray at 54, Manning at 49, Marino at 42, Mon at 40, and then Justin Fields with 37. Interceptions right now. I want to know who's the old Nate. And Charlie Ward threw 63, Russell threw 50, Branch threw 43, DiCaprio threw 36, and Straight threw 35. Completion percentage, guys. Kyler Murray at 70, Eli at 70, Marino at 66, Kellerman at 73%, Justin Fields at 66%. Another 70 is Josh Allen. These guys are throwing the ball at a high level. Who's averaging the most passing yards per game, though? Dolphins at 412.3 yards a game. Kyler Murray is second. Josh Allen is third. Elijah Manning is fourth. And Kellerman is fifth. Individual runners right now. Let's go. How many 2,000-yard backs we have? We have 2. 2,305, 2,026. Harold Streets and Jaleel Ruggs. Bass has 1680. ETN with 1589. Hits Israel with 1418 right now. Touchdowns. 43 from Ruggs. He's 20 more than the next 2. Bass, ETN with 23. Streets with 22. McCoy with 21. Ruggs is averaging 177.3 yards a game. Streets is 168.8. Bass has 140 a game. ETN 132. And hits Israel 118 yards a game. What more can I say? What more can I do? I said I correct. Aaron Herrera had 80. He has 91 catches on the year. He's on his way to 1,000 catches. 100 catches. Waddle was 71 second. Samuel was 68. Jefferson was 66. Best was 64. Moss was 62. Yards wise, though, got a whole bunch of 1,000-yard receivers in the league. Waddle was 1747. Poole was 1709. Mooney 1344. Candy 1331. Parker 1297. Samuel 1278. Cannon 1257. Jenkins 1172. Another tight end, White with 1164. Justin Jefferson with 1,135. Who going dummies? Waddle averaging 100, almost 150 yards a game, 145.6. Poole, same thing, 142. Candy, 110. Parker, 108. Jackson, 106. Cannon, 104. Mooney, 103. Touchdowns. 21 from Poole, 20 from Waddle. 18 for Isaac Cannon. They all in the battle right here. These 3 guys right here. Burris was 17, so you got 18 from Cannon, 17 from Burris. 99 Reasons with 17. Parker with 14. Samuel 14. Candy 13. 13 from Mooney. Isabella 12. Mondale Moore 11. Ezekiel Winters 11. Hudson 10. Jay White 10. Franklin 10. Bowman 10. Ruggs 10. Sheldon Work 10. So all of the Cardinals receivers got double-digit touchdowns. Swartz with 10. Demon Time 10. And then Javonte Williams out the backfield with 10. Isaiah Simmons has 91 tackles right now and 7 interceptions with 11 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. Alright, so let's make the case right now. Is this the best middle linebacker in the league, or is this the best linebacker in the league? Want this?
Is my phone?
I had your phone. I think I left it downstairs on the couch. I'll go get it. I'm about to be finished. I'll go get it. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, Devin Ward, the Terminator, 90 tackles. Billy the Kid with 87. Darwin James, 86. McGrone with 86. Kenneth Murray Jr. with 85. Patty Queen with 84. Tackle for losses, guys. Let's just get through this real fast. 24 from Aubrey Drake, 16 from Chuck Smith. Leonard with 16. Carroll with 16. Fairley with 14. Coles with 14. We got a whole bunch of double-digit guys caught young. Hassan Reddick, Allen Reed, C.J. Kitchens. You got Parsons with 12. Billy the Kid with 12. Larry Barton with 12. Pierre Paul. J.D. Green. Oh my God, it's a whole bunch of guys. That's what's up. Everybody getting them tackle for losses right now. Is that the inside stuffers? Montez Sweat on his way to 20 sacks this year, 19 right now. Thad Carmichael is really pushing the envelope with 18. This is the big race between these two at the D tackle spot for 15.5 sacks. That's just telling you a lot. That's why I say he's the best D tackle in the league. 14.5 from Pat Teller. Another 14 from Justin Smith. Boone with 14. Coles with 13.5. Hall with 13.5. So Nasty got 13.5. Parsons with 11.5. Tucker with 11.5, and you see the guys with 11 or more. 10, 10, Bradley Chubb, Reddick, and then P.J. Leonard all got double digits. INT-wise right now, 14 for Terrell Williams, Damon Major with 11, Devin White 9, Marco Wilson 9, Cameron Bynum 9. Looked like they were trying to trade him earlier. Trill with 8. Look at these corners real fast and see something. I gotta say, where my boy at with 10 of them things right now? Wasn't on this list. What about the NFC? Are we missing anybody? 14, 12. Yep. When you see him on the list. 11. Spike. Yep. He's missing guys. I don't know why they do that, but you be missing them and shit. Von Savage playing well this year. Alright. Real fast deflections. Who doing it the most? 15 out of Ramsey. I'll go get it. Buda Baker. 14. You getting it? And you probably not on 11. Trayvon Diggs. Alright, forced fumbles, you got the most right now. Still 4 with Von Teller, Denario Shields, cornerback Isaiah Simmons as well. Touchdown makers. 4 from Devin White, taking them shits to the crib. And then a whole bunch of 3 Terrell Means, and then a whole bunch of 2s right now. Alright, that's your stats, fellas. Alright, the games that we waiting on. See what we want to play. I got to catch up on the gifts already, so I'm not doing any pick a winner games this week. But I will say this, the games that we should be paying attention to. And it's late, so I doubt these guys are gonna play. But you know, let's get back to that schedule real fast. When I come on in the morning with the Breakfast Club Real Talk, we'll talk about the games that was played week 13. But the Cowboys football team, big game to worry about. Just keep your eye on the Falcons-Packers. Browns-Steelers, another game to keep your eye on. Panthers-Saints, big game. Pay attention. I would say Ravens-Patriots could be an interesting game, and the Giants-Eagles is a big game. This might be the game of the week right here, Giants-Eagles. Other than that, and hits the franchise guru, man. Holla at us on the next Ballin' with the Guru. You heard?